My name is Sherand Boyd. I'm a teacher and football coach at Bubba West High School. Um, I've been coaching for the past 2 years. I graduated from the University of Northern Colorado, where I received a degree in special education. I played safety at the University of Colorado. I actually played quarterback in high school, but was able to transition to safety. I'm a secondaries coach now. I trained for a facility, a company called Elite Speed, where we focus on position-specific drills and things of that nature.
My name is Coach Bobby Williams. I'm currently coaching in Wilmington, North Carolina. Started out living in North Carolina as a high school senior. We won state championship in 1982. Gives you an idea how old I am. In 4A division, which is largest in North Carolina. From there, went on to Wake Forest, got a degree at Wake Forest University. My first job out of college was at Georgia Tech back in 1988, 89, 90 when they won a national championship with Bobby Ross as head coach. Stayed in Atlanta and then kind of got out of coaching and got into strength conditioning for a while and realized how much I miss football. From there, I got back into coaching in 2003 in Atlanta. Stayed there until 2010, moved to Texas, Dallas-Fort Worth area, worked at a school there as strength conditioning coach for the whole school, offensive line, defensive line, offensive coordinator, that kind of thing, until 2018. In 2016, we won a state championship there in Texas. Moved back to North Carolina to be close to my father, and so I've been here in North Carolina the last, I guess, two and a half years. And currently, I'm a defensive coordinator, but I'm a long-time single wing guy. So we're talking about single wing offense tonight. So, in the way that what I've blocked over the years and how I've kind of made it simple, I believe offensive line play is probably the number one important thing for a successful offense. You can have a great running back, but without good blocking schemes and guys not getting blocked, it won't matter. So to make it simple and easy, my thing is if you think you stink, we want to make it simple. So what we do on our blocking schemes is what some people call severe angle blocking. It also turns into gap down backer scheme is what we're doing basically. So we're never trying to block anybody directly in front of us, because if that guy's ever better than you, if he's a 10 going to Alabama and you're a 6 or a 7 on the O-line, you're never going to block him man-to-man. You forget it. So, but you can block a kid better than you at an angle. So we're all about severe angle blocking. So starting out from offensive line, I'll start with what we call our outside tackle, which is this guy here, the outside tackle. He's going to out block. He's going to block out on that 9 technique, because it's an easy out block. We're going to go ahead and with our 3-back, he's going to kick out that 6 technique. So our blocking back, the guy that's located right behind our inside tackle, he's just going to kick out on the 6. We're going to down block with our inside tackle on that 3 technique. So he's blocking down. So basically we're running in the C gap, or what we call our power play. We're just running instead of off tackle. They're giving us the C gap, so we're going to take advantage of it. And that's a call that we'd have our outside tackle make pre-snap every time. We'd like to have everybody down block the front side, but they're giving us the C, we'll take it. Like I said, the inside tackle will down block that 3. The right guard will down block, basically closing the angle so there's no penetration. Like the old saying is, Dick LeBeau, the old defense coordinator of the Steelers, used to say penetration kills everything. We don't want to allow penetration, so we're not having guys run off. So that right guard doesn't have anybody on him or anybody in his gap, but he's going to close and stay between his nose and his inside neighbor's nose, which is the center. The center's going to block back on the 1 technique as we pull our left guard. So left guard's going to pull, and he basically is going to get hip to hip with the second back. Let's hear this guy here. So this guy here and this guy here are going to get hip to hip as they pull up in this C-gap hole. He's going to be looking inside for the Mike backer, and then this guy here is going to be hip-to-hip, checking backer up to safety. So we have that inside sealed off wall-wise. Probably what will happen is our right guard will try and pick off the wheel backer on the backside, because he'll have nobody in his inside gap or nobody down from him. So the right guard on us is going to basically go all the way to the wheel backer. Our tight end basically is just going to close the gap. He's going to close B-gap hinge, what we call it. So when our left guard's pulling, he's going to block back the center is. We're going to close the gap and then hinge. If someone shows up, he'll block the B gap. If not, he'll hinge back and make sure we get chased from the backside. We'll snap the ball to the tailback here. He's going to follow the one back and the left guard as they go up in the C gap here. He's going to block out, like I said. He's the kick out on the 6 technique. This guy's going to run his guy off. He can block him if you want to, but if they're locked on, we can take him out of the play if you want to, just by running a go route to the outside. And then the next block would be by the wing back. If we give him the opportunity, if you think you can run to him and block him straight man, straight up, that's fine. Probably on this, I like for him to go ahead and take an inside move. Let's go up inside this hole here. So we got left guard, B back kicking. He's going to wrap underneath that, go get his man on him. These two are side by side, blocking linebacker and safety. He's got the will, he's getting the ball, and run the funnel. That's basically our power, what we call a tunnel call. Anytime we're not running off the outside tackles, outside hip, we're running in the C gap, we just make a tunnel call. Nice. Hop out.
During my first 2 years of just being around football, one thing I learned from one of my coaches was just creating a paradox of suspense. So what I like to do on defense is make a lot of things look the same and have a lot of variations off of them. This past year, specifically with this play right here, we're giving you a one high look, which could be traditionally just looking at a one high look. You can get some cover 1, some cover 3. But actually what we did this year, we were able to put our safety high. And with doing that, we were still able to play some zero behind it as well and bring some pressure. So right here, I'm not getting as much movement up front. It's because of with a lot of single wing and a lot of triple option or anything like that, or any type of gap scheme, we can kick out of my blitz. And as you know, once the gap scheme hits, you get one hole and we get crease. So I didn't give too much movement right here. We only went movement weak. With my buck DN, I just gapped him into the B gap, sent the wheel off the edge, and we have that nickel Sam coming free off the edge as well. Since that tackle or that tight end is ineligible, if it was an eligible number, he can't go off a route anyway on that side. And then also with the safety to that side, with the corner to that side, just following that single wing that you have. So if he folds inside as well, we're able to get some fits there. But honestly, just playing man-to-man across the board is going to help me see as a coordinator, where can I get movement at? How well are you guys blocking, just straight up base blocking? And how well can these guys pull? So with this play call, I'm honestly just watching to see how well you guys do with pulling and how you do with base blocks. So right here in this situation, so what I'm gonna do is gonna give a 2 high shell, and we're gonna play some cheat coverage behind it. So I'm gonna send 6. So as you can see in that picture too, we're gonna get a little bit more movement now. With this movement, I have a double text going on both sides. So I got both my nose and my 3 technique penetrating into B gaps, while I have my DNs wrapping around into A gaps. With that, I'm trying to bottle everything out to the outside. So we're trying to get everything forced to the outside to our cheap players and our deep guys. So with this dead side tight end, I got the corner bailing, but also, again, it's all predicated off what's going on in the backfield. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to bottle the run out to the outside, and with the nickel Sam, which is a cheap player, and my safety, who's another cheap player, with them being solely visual on the backfield picture, they're able to react off of the direction. So if it's pass, we're going to read the shoulders of the quarterback, and we're going to break to that side. If it's run, we're able to fit and be force players outside of our guys, outside of our reach. So right here, the number 2 to the dead side will be the running back, will be one of the running backs or quarterbacks. To the other side, it can be based off of a wing. So the nickel Sam would try to fit outside of that farthest wing, while the safety would cheat over, and it would be spilled right back to the safety. So that's what I'm trying to get in this picture. We're trying to force everything to the outside while remaining visual on the backfield.
With this, since we only got 2 yards to get, I'm thinking, okay, I just want 2 yards. I want to get first down. So if these are 3, that's an easy down block from you there. It's an easy angle block from there. These B gap hinge again, so we don't have anybody run through the B gap, but we allow them to go outside. We're going to go ahead and just kind of fold this guy over here, or anything that comes that way. He's going to come out here, and we'll let these 2 guys just mash this guy. And of course, if anybody comes in, whatnot, we just want 2 yards. So we're going to snap it to him. He's going to run up in here. We can run him off or do whatever here. We just like to do 1 or 2 yards. course, like everybody, I'd love to get multiple yards, but I really right now want a first down. And so I think with our angles, we've got the strong side A gap. We'll just take our angles there, put our 2 big blocks on him, and try and get hip to hip here. And once again, this is just a back block. We're looking for whatever's flowing over top there, trying to get a first down.
Yes, sir.
This one, I always like to check because a lot of times teams will overload this side because we got a lot of people over here. And so when they do, I like to run stuff back to weak side. And normally I try and do that when I'm doing this. I want to run something back to weak side and take this guy out. But I'm still kind of, in my estimation, what I want to do, I feel like I'm maybe still outmanned. I got a better officer choice over here. So I guess that's a hard call. I guess I can still run counter. So I can run counter back this other way. So this will block down here. He's got here. We're blocking back here, here, like this. We're going to pull. He's going to scrape paint and kick out first guy to show. He's going to get the ball first. He's going to follow this, so it's like counter. So he's here scraping paint, looking inside. He's going to come across here. He's going to take 2 steps forward that way to let these guys clear. And he's going to follow. And he's going to go inside that there. He runs this way like he's running sweep or power. He hands the ball. It's the inside handoff. It's the only handoff in the singling offense. All the rest of them are direct snaps. This is the only handoff to the counter. And he comes back inside. And he's here. Basically, we're trying to get out there if we can, get outside. So we got the kick out. We got the wrap. Ready flowing coming over top. The 2 back here. This guy here, he's got to let these 2 guys clear and then come around. So it looks like to the defense, hey, here comes sweep or here comes power. And so we're hoping to freeze these guys a little bit while this guy immediately goes in, after ball snap, he takes off, inside handoff by this guy who will continue, but he's going to be that blocker up in here to get the safety. He's the kick out, he's the wrapper, and we will either block him off or run him off, whichever, depending on how he's playing. If he's playing inside levers, we'll run him off. If he's just playing man, if he's in the zone, we'll try to put him off. So basically, it's what we call our 43 reverse or counter play.
So what I got going on up front is a nut stunt. And with that, that is our, a tech stunt. And that's with our penetrator and looper rules. So basically, my penetrator right there is going to be my 3 technique. So all he's looking for is the center space. If he gets the center, blocks back to him. So if he gets the center one-on-one with him, he's just going to collision and climb and get vertical. If it would have been, the center would have blocked down, he just would have chased the backside A gap from the other side. The looper is pretty simple. He's just going to take 2 steps, which is the nose, and then he's just going to loop around into the opposite B gap. And then what we got going on the back end is just we got some 3-roll going on. So with all of the wings and the sniffers that the single wing is showing right now, I would want my guys to be as simple as possible. So we're going to go back to base cover 3 rules. So with that, we're going to roll to the tight end wing. We're going to roll to that tight end wing side. My corner is going to be my curl flat player. He's going to look for the number 2, which would be the tight end. My nickel Sam would be the hook curl player, which he would do it off of number 3, which would be that sniffer in that picture. So we've been getting a lot of movement and things like that. I want my guys' eyes on their keys where they're supposed to be. Also, my Mike, his eyes will be on that sniffer. So if he slices or if he pushes back, we should get our flow back for any type of gap scheme or any type of flood action or anything of that nature. And then, of course, on the up top, you got both safeties rolling over the top, safety closing the middle of the field, corner to that single receiver side, basically playing man-to-man on that side. So in this picture, what I would hope that would need to happen in this picture is my nickel Sam and my Mike eyes in the right place on the number 3. We to go back with the slice, and we should be able to fit up everything from right there. So sometimes when we send pressures and things like that, that's why I like our cheap pressures, just because my 2 underneath defenders are able to look at the backfield picture. So if things get a little bit too confusing when we go back to our base zone back to our base zone coverages and things of that nature, we're able to get our eyes in the correct spot so we can play pretty fast. funny, Coach, that you even talked about that. That guy that putting the players across the goal line. So that was kind of like one of our looks. So we played like red two, which is the coverage that we play behind that. So this was in the course of this game. I'm pretty sure we would have ran that coverage sometime. So we'd have shown this, but we'd have went back and I would have ran my cheat pressures. So again, it would have been an even front. So we got two eyes on both sides, and then all we're gonna do, we're gonna blitz the Mike and the Will up both B gaps, and we're gonna come off the edge, and we're gonna play cheat behind it. So my nickel Sam, he's going to be a cheap player, and my safety opposite of the nickel Sam is going to be a cheap player. In that picture, I have put the safety who actually closed the middle of the field outside of the nickel Sam for that initial look, and then we would creep and we would get into our actual pressure and spin from there. Again, forcing everything out to the sideline so he just can't gut us up the middle, and then forcing everything out to the edge, getting visual on the quarterback on the backfield so we can see what's going on, and then playing a third no deeper than the end zone, no deeper than 5 yards in the end zone if it is passed for the back end. So we're able to keep everything in front and we can rally to everything.
With this, I look at and go, okay, so they're here. I got them wide out, basically as wide as I can go. They're almost on the sideline. And basically, I'm just trying to take them out of play. So we're just getting them out of play by formation if we can. So this is going to be a tight-ish kind of tight sweep or wide power, however you want to term it. So we'll go ahead and go here, since he's the inside shade. He's our best guy, so hopefully he should be able to block a guy on the inside here. He's got here, he'll be here. He's going to have to go here on this guy as we pull there. He's got the force player. He's going to always try and get his head on the outside, because if he's a force player, he's not going to let him outside of him. So if you put your head on the outside, you'll end up just skating him out. So he's going to try and get his head always on the outside of the force player. He's here, inside the trash. He's the ball carrier, and so basically they're reading this block by the blocking back. If he dives in, he'll log him. But more likely, this is the force player in this defense. So he's going to have to try and keep outside contained, keep him on the outside. We'll ride him out, keep him out. He'll read that block. On this, he's just looking to scrape off that block, looking inside. So we got two guys here. This guy's kicking out for us. We're closing the gap from the pulling guard here. So he's got to block down that guy. It's a tough block. It's just a flat angle. He's got to cut him off and prevent penetration. We're here cutting down here. So we're just all cutting this stuff off. This guy, usually in this stance, he'll kind of slightly move over if he wants to, but he's always taking a backside step first. So his first step, he's always gaining ground. He doesn't take a bucket step because he wouldn't go nowhere. He's always going to step with his backside foot first. And as he goes, he's going to get there faster than anybody can come back on the backside. So we got a puller, scrape, and looking inside. This guy's forced. This is our extra guy looking inside, linebacker to safety, and we're running back here. And these guys, since we're on that tash, they, like I said, are almost out of bounds. And since they're playing tight like that, tight-ish, we can either try to run them off something here or just block them, just kind of get in their way. So it's not necessarily a full sweep to the sideline. We're just going to read this kick block here on the force player, hoping he plays like he's supposed to play as a force player, keep him contained, and we'll run up underneath. I wanted to thank Coach Boyd and Coach Dean for inviting me to the talk war, so to speak. I appreciate the opportunity. I enjoyed it. A ton of fun. My big thing, if you ever want to get in touch with me, talk about single-wing football, or I also do consultations for 46 defense for the high school level. So I've done consultation for that, something I do on the side as well. My Twitter is Real Coach Bobby. My email address is Bobby_Williams2@yahoo.com. And then I think the biggest thing here today is, I got into coaching because of coaches that made a difference in my life. And I figured that I kind of wanted to pay it forward, pay it back, so to speak. Without the coaches I've had in my life, who know what would happen or whatnot. So I kind of do that because I want to at least affect one kid in my lifetime the way someone affected me when I was a kid growing up. And so I kind of ask, when I talk to coaches a lot, to remember that. All of us probably remember every single coach we've had since we played football. I remember mine since I started when I was 6 years old. and everyone since then, the good ones and the bad ones, they always are going to remember who you are. And if you cared about them, you know, a lot of them, the old saying is they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And so my big deal is I want to try and use football as a life lesson for these kids to make them better sons, better husbands, and better fathers for the future. And I truly believe in that. And that's what kind of I'm out to do. I hate to lose. I love to win as much as any football coach there is. But my number one thing that I really make sure I have to do and have to succeed at is being a positive role model and helping kids. And so that's kind of my message to you guys. Remember that these kids will always remember you, no matter how good or bad their seasons are. Remember, they're somebody's son, and they have a mom and a dad or a parent or a guardian looking after them, and you are spending a much more time at times during the season than probably their own parent is. So just take that into account, please. Thank you for the opportunity.
First off, I want to thank Coach Bobby and Coach Sam for giving me this opportunity and getting on this platform. I think it's huge. I think it's a great opportunity for coaches to network and to gain some knowledge. My Twitter handle is at Sherand J, at SHERAND J. That's my name on Twitter. I've been coaching, me taking this year off to get my master's degree in educational leadership. It would have been my third year coaching. And during those 2 years of experience that I had, one quote that I have that's resonated with me over time is that everyone will gain experience naturally. Everybody's gonna get older when you're around this game of football or whatever you're doing. But you have to choose yourself to go out and to gain knowledge and to grow. I feel at times a lot of people just hold their experience and say, well, experience trumps everything. Well, one thing I've learned and being on here with Coach Bobby and obviously learning this about the single wing is that just because you have experience in this doesn't mean you have the knowledge, you know, and what you're doing, Coach Bobby, and what all the great coaches are doing around the world, they're continuing to grow as people. And one thing I continue to tell my players, I'm in a fraternity, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, and that fraternity has definitely changed my life. And one thing I'll talk to my players about, my 4 cardinal principles are manhood, scholarship, perseverance, and uplift. And with manhood, when people hear your name, what do they think? What type of person do they think of? What characteristic traits do they think of? Scholarship, how are you trying to grow yourself? What knowledge are you attaining? You know, most kids hear scholarship and they're just thinking money. Well, no, scholarship is what knowledge are you retaining? How are you going out to seek information on how you can be a better person? Perseverance, how do you approach life? How do you approach adversity? What do you do? And then, of course, uplift. What are you doing to help others? You know, it doesn't mean a lot just to put yourself on a platform and you bring no one up with you. You know, so continue to lift as we climb. And you guys have definitely shown that. I appreciate you guys again for giving me this opportunity.